Okay, so for my first page in my book, or in my case, my first card, what I've done so far is this. I have my rough sketch of it planned out. So as you can see, I am doing the wheel again because that means chance in tarot. But I was doing some research and there are other symbols to represent tarot or represent chance in tarot, and I'm going to incorporate those as well. So as of right now, I've got the wheel, and you can see maybe these are little arrows. That is also a symbol of chance. So I'm gonna work on it a little bit more. All right, so I've got my card pretty much completed here. For chance, I decided to do the Wheel of Fortune again, like I mentioned before. And each one of these 8 boxes that I created, I did opposing forces. So in this one, I have good, and that's represented by a dove. Down here is evil, and it's a serpent. Death, life, I did a bunny and some eggs, which kind of looks like Easter now that I'm thinking about it, but that's okay. We're gonna leave it anyway. And I've got fire and water and night and day. So those are all of my little sketches that I did. Now it's time to perfect them with micron pens. Okay, so I got my tarot card pretty much finished here. This is the finished product. So what I did with this, as I explained before, I was going to do opposing forces. So I have my life and death. Good, I'd like to clarify that that's a dove because I've had some questioning about that from observers. That is a dove, so that's going to represent good. And then I drew a serpent to represent evil, but I was thinking it could also be earth and air because snakes crawl on the earth and birds fly in the air. So it could be perceived either way and it would still work. And then I have night and day, and I have fire and water. So you can see I've got all of my forces there. And I glued my special paper onto the back, and something really unfortunate happened. You can kind of see the spots from the glue. So what I'm going to do with that to fix it, I'm mixing up some tea here. You can't really see it, there you go. And I'm just going to lightly brush that tea over my tarot card with a paintbrush to tint the white paper so that the glue blends in a little bit more. And I think that that'll be fine. Definitely can make it look kind of old, which isn't a bad thing. So I just have to be careful after I put that tea on there that I put this under some books so that the paper doesn't crinkle. Also, what I'm going to do is draw some lines on the back here to make it look more like a card. So that's what I'm going to do first before I put the tea on there. Also, one more thing. I have to have my written part, and I didn't really want to write on the tarot card. So a lot of tarot decks will come with a book that explains the meaning of the cards. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a book out of this paper, and it's going to go inside of my tarot box along with my cards to explain the meaning of them. So I've still got my fair share of work to do, and I'm gonna get started. All right, so I've got my tarot card finished up. The tea stained the paper a little bit, as you can see, making it not so stark white, so that's good. Problem solved there with the glue. And then I made my little book that has what I have to say about my card. And the reason that I made it, one of the reasons I made it like this was so I could add the pages into it in the future. So, and what I said about chance was the Wheel of Fortune translates to chance. It is the absence of any cause of events that can be predicted, understood, or controlled. This card represents a crossroads in one's life. One must be willing to weigh out their options carefully. Remember, we reap what we sow. So that is what I wrote for my tarot card. So I've got my first one done. Yay!